Artificial intelligence is moving beyond simple automation. It's increasingly being used to assist with scientific literature analysis, hypothesis generation, simulation, materials discovery, drug discovery, and experimental workflows. The World Economic Forum 2026 Emerging Technology Assessment identifies accelerating technological convergence, including the developments in AI, quantum technologies, and scientific applications, as an important emerging trend. But the deeper question is not whether AI can help scientists, it is what happens when the scientific process itself becomes partially machine generated. Who formulates the hypothesis? Who decides which experiment is worth conducting? Who evaluates an unexpected result? And perhaps most importantly, can science remain trustworthy when some of its most important discoveries originate from systems that humans don't fully understand? For approximately 4 centuries, modern science has followed a remarkably human architecture. A scientist observes something unusual, the scientist asks a question, the scientist processes hypotheses, an experiment is designed, evidence is collected, the hypothesis is rejected, modified, or supported. Another scientist attempts to reproduce the result, and gradually knowledge accumulates. But something extraordinary is beginning to happen. We are building systems that can participate in several parts of this process. AI can analyze enormous scientific literature. It can identify relationships humans may overlook. It can generate hypotheses. It can simulate systems. It can also propose molecular structures. It can assist with experimental design, and increasingly, AI systems are being integrated into scientific workflows. This raises a question that is both exciting and uncomfortable. What happens when the scientist making the discovery is no longer entirely human? Consider a hypothetical experiment. A machine analyzes millions of scientific observations. It identifies a relationship nobody has noticed. It proposes a hypothesis. It designs an experiment. The experiment produced an unexpected result. The machine generates a new hypothesis, then another experiment confirms it. We now have a scientific discovery, but who discovered it? The programmer, the scientist supervising the system, the machine, or the entire human-machine system? This is not merely philosophical, it has practical consequences. Science depends on reproducibility. If an AI system discovers something, another scientist must ideally be able to reproduce the reasoning or independently reproduce the result. And here we encounter the black box problem. A system can sometimes produce an excellent prediction without providing an explanation that a human scientist finds satisfying. But prediction and explanation are not identical. A model can tell what will happen without necessarily telling us why it happens. For engineering, that distinction can sometimes be tolerated. For fundamental science, it is much more complicated. Science doesn't merely seek accurate answers, it seeks explanations. That means the future may require a new scientific architecture. I would describe this as machine discovery, human verification. The machine searches an enormous hypothesis space. Humans establish whether the result is scientifically meaningful. Independent systems attempt replication. Experiments test the prediction, and the scientific community decides whether the evidence is sufficient. This could transform the speed of discovery. Imagine searching millions of possible materials rather than thousands, millions of molecular structures rather than hundreds, thousands of possible physical models rather than a handful. AI could become a microscope for space or for spaces of possibilities that human cognition can't explore directly. But there is a danger. Speed can create noise. If machines can generate millions of hypotheses, the bottleneck may no longer be generating ideas. The bottleneck becomes determining which ideas deserves attention. This is where human expertise become more, not less valuable. A senior scientist may recognize that a mathematically elegant result is physically meaningless. An experienced engineer may recognize that a theoretically optimal design can't be manufactured. A physician may understand that a statistically promising molecule creates unacceptable clinical risks. Expertise provides context, and context is precisely what automated systems can struggle to process. Therefore, I don't believe the future of science is necessarily humans versus machines. I believe that more interesting future is humans with machines versus human without them. The scientists who learn to interrogate AI, challenge it, verify it, and combine it with deep domain expertise may possess an extraordinary advantage, but they will need new skills. They will need to understand model uncertainty. They will need to interrogate provenance. They will need to design verification experiments. They will need to recognize hallucination. They will need to distinguish correlation from causation. And above all, they will need to maintain scientific skepticism. Because the purpose of science is not to produce answers quickly, the purpose is to determine which answers deserve to survive scrutiny. That principle becomes even more important when the machine can produce answers faster than humans can evaluate them. We may therefore be approaching one of the most significant transitions in scientific history. The first scientific revolution gave humanity systematic experimentation, and the consequential revolution gave humanity extraordinary numerical power. The AI revolution may give humanity something different, the ability to explore scientific possibility at the scale previously inaccessible to human cognition. But whether that becomes a golden age of discovery depends on one thing, not how intelligent our machines become, but how wisely we use them. Because the ultimate scientific question will remain unchanged. Not can we generate an answer, but can we prove that answer is true?